Chapter 10. Charlie. I can't believe I agreed to this. When I read over the paper Penelope gave me, I thought this guy sounded okay. A little more into financial stuff than I am, but still okay. I mean, the paper said he liked to work out and that he was a health nut, which I thought might be right up my alley. Those things might all be true, but all he can seem to talk about is cryptocurrency. So while he's certainly handsome, that's about all he's got going for him.
So then I invested in this new crypto, and I know it's going to be huge, he says, gesturing with his chopsticks. We haven't even ordered yet, but he slid the chopsticks out of the container as soon as we sat down and has been using them like a pointer as he tells me all about his financial portfolio. Fascinating, I murmur as my eyes scan the menu. Sushi is healthy, but I'm not a big fan. However, I will say the atmosphere of the restaurant is nice. The paper lanterns strung across the ceiling cast a warm glow on the tables and send shadows dancing around the room. "What are you going to get?"
Chad asks, mercifully pausing his crypto diatribe. I take a deep breath and look from the spicy California roll to the safe, reliable avocado roll. As someone obsessed with fitness and health, I should like seafood, but I've just never been a big fan. The California roll is made with imitation crab, but I don't know if I like that either. I do, however, like spicy foods, but is that enough? I'm not sure. I think I'll go with the avocado roll. I fold my menu and place it on the table. Chad looks at me as if I've just said I wanted to order pasta or chicken strips.
"Wow, bold choice," he says sarcastically. "I thought you were a girl who takes risks."
His tone makes me tense and I fire back defensively. I do take risks, but I'm not a big fan of seafood.
"You should have said something," he says with a roll of his eyes. "We could have gone somewhere else."
I put on my best fake smile and inject as much sweetness into my tone as I can. You could have asked. It's clear from his expression that he's deciding if he even wants to continue this date, and I'm about to offer to call it off when his expression softens and he sighs.
"You're right. I should have asked. I've been working on my empathy and caring what other people think with my therapist, but I'm a work in progress."
Oh, that's nice. Don't get me wrong. Therapy is a great thing. I mean, my roommate Hannah is studying to be one, for goodness sake, and I see how she helps people, so I have nothing against it. Plus, if it's helping him become a less egotistical person, then I'm definitely all for it. But I don't want to be in the middle of someone's evolution. Thankfully, the waiter saves me from having to answer by arriving to take our orders. Chad orders some huge sample platter. I wonder if he knows how many calories he's eating. And I place my order for the boring but edible avocado rolls. Chad manages to flinch only slightly at my lack of raw food order.
"So the paper said you work out a lot,"
Chad says when the waiter leaves. I guess this is his idea of showing interest in the other person, limited though it is. Yeah, you could say that. I'm a personal trainer, so it's kind of in my job description. At this, he perks up a little.
"Oh yeah? I've got to tell you about this new workout regimen I've started. Oh, and I found an amazing creatine powder that you just have to try."
Chad takes off on another egotistical rant, although this one is a little easier to listen to, as I have some interest in the topic. Still, for someone trying to focus more on the other person, Chad is failing miserably. He talks until the food arrives. "Can I get a fork?" I ask the server, as the plate is placed in front of me. The food doesn't look that bad, but I've never mastered the use of chopsticks.
No way," Chad says. You have to have an authentic experience, and that means using chopsticks.
I can't use chopsticks, I say through gritted teeth.
You can, he says, and then he waves the server away. It's not that hard.
I take a deep breath and a sip of water to douse the raging fire building inside me. Guess I'll be adding condescending to Chad's less than admirable qualities.
So do you have any crypto coins yet? I can definitely recommend the best ones and steer you away from the fakes.
He pauses long enough to expertly pop a piece of tuna in his mouth. Oh goody, we've switched back to crypto talk. I shake my head at his question, though he wasn't really waiting for my answer anyway. Could this date get any worse? Penelope is going to be in for a killer workout after this. As Chad continues talking between bites, I pick up the chopsticks and attempt to pick up an avocado roll. The chopsticks slide apart and the roll drops back to the plate with a soft plop. My frustration builds as I try again and again, each attempt more fumbling than the last.
It's all about trying new things while investing in the tried and true options, you know?
Chad rambles on, gesticulating with his chopsticks.
The future of finance is...
Totally, I interject, wishing he would stop talking so I could concentrate. My brow furrows in concentration as I finally manage to lift a roll in my chopsticks. You've got this, Charlie, I tell myself as I move the chopsticks slowly toward my mouth. Just keep them still and get them to your lips without incident. I lean in, trying to gracefully maneuver the avocado roll towards my mouth. But just when I think I've possibly grasped the use of these annoying devices, disaster strikes. My fingers spasm and the chopsticks slide together, sending the avocado roll flying through the air. It arcs through the air like a football thrown in slow motion and hits Chad in the face, before bouncing off and landing in his lap. My eyes widen in horror. Oh my gosh, I gasp, dropping my chopsticks and sending them clattering to the floor. I'm so sorry. Chad blinks, stunned into silence for the first time, and then he picks up the avocado roll from his lap and places it on the table. I guess it's a good thing it didn't have any sauce, I say, trying to joke to diffuse the air that now hangs between us, thick and uncomfortable. He doesn't respond, just grabs his napkin and swipes at his face. Face burning in embarrassment, I reach for my water glass to cool my throat and douse the laughter that is threatening to burst out of me. I doubt he finds the situation as funny as I do. Somehow, though, instead of grabbing the glass, I manage to knock it over, sending a small tidal wave of water across the pristine white tablecloth and right into Chad's lap. Oh dear. You know what? I say, pushing my chair back with a screech. I think it's best if I just go, thank you for the date and good luck with the crypto thing. I fumble with my purse and manage to pull a 20 from my wallet, which I toss onto the table. I didn't actually eat my dinner, but I'd feel bad making him pay for it after I assaulted him with both food and drink. With that, I make my hasty, mortified retreat, nearly tripping over my own feet in my rush to escape. As I burst out of the restaurant into the cool night air, the tears that have been burning the backs of my eyes threaten to spill down my cheek. I can't believe the date went that badly. Penelope will probably be disappointed, but I did go on the date, disastrous as it was, and hopefully she'll have a better match for me next time. When I push open the door to our apartment, I'm greeted with the scent of buttery popcorn and the faint aroma of lavender from Belle's essential oil diffuser. I hate that thing and the smell of lavender, but every time I tried to hide it, she somehow found it and brought it back out. I've learned to accept the smell, but I can't say that I will miss it when she moves out. Hopefully, Jackson likes lavender. From the living room, I can hear giggles and the faint sounds of a movie. I can't quite make out the words, but depending on who picked the movie, I'd have a pretty good guess as to what it is. If it's Katie, the movie is probably When Harry Met Sally. She's a sucker for romantic comedies, but for some reason that one is her favorite. If Piper picked, it's more than likely The Princess Bride. She's read the book too, and she regales us every time with which scenes are the same and which are different. If Hannah chose the movie, it's a musical, either Hamilton or Mamma Mia, though I have no doubt that Wicked will soon be her top pick. She doesn't think we can hear her, but she hums the songs under her breath all the time. Last but not least, Belle. If she picked the movie, then they're either watching Clueless or Legally Blonde. I kick my shoes off and make my way toward the noise to see who won the bet tonight. Charlie! Belle's excited squeal rises above the movie's soundtrack as soon as she sees me, and she jumps up from the couch to hurry over to me. How was the date? Was it a night to remember? We want all the juicy details. Oh, it was a night to remember, all right, I say as I fall onto the couch. At least I doubt he'll be forgetting me anytime soon. Katie pauses the movie, which was in fact When Harry Met Sally, and turns to me. That doesn't sound promising. What happened? Well, first he took me to a sushi restaurant. But you don't like seafood, Piper says matter-of-factly. Yes, but he didn't know that because he didn't bother to ask me. He was kind of a conceited jerk. Belle scrunches her face in disgust. That stinks. Was he handsome at least? Looks aren't everything, Belle, Hannah says, shaking her head. A good relationship must be built on more than that because looks will fade. Katie waves her hands to get our attention. Okay, enough about that. Why won't he be forgetting you? Right. I sigh and pick up one of the pillows, hugging it to my chest. Well, in addition to being kind of conceited, he was also a little pushy. I ordered avocado rolls because of my aversion to seafood, and not only did he think that was a terrible choice, but he wouldn't let me use a fork. He insisted I use chopsticks. Oh no, Katie groans, clearly seeing where this is going. Oh yes, I could have made a big deal about it and made the waiter get me a fork, but I figured it would be easier to just use the chopsticks. However, it took me forever to get a roll caught with the chopsticks, and just as I was about to get it into my mouth, my hand spasmed and the avocado roll shot out of the chopsticks and landed on his face before falling into his lap. Belle's mouth falls open in shock. You attacked him with an avocado roll? Well, not on purpose, but yeah. Then, to make matters worse, when I reached for my water, I knocked it over instead, and I'm pretty sure I flooded his lap with water. Hannah quirks an eyebrow. You're pretty sure? I didn't really stick around to find out. I fished a 20 from my purse, threw it on the table, and left. Hannah reaches over and pats my arm sympathetically. Oh, Charlie, that sounds absolutely mortifying. I let out a rueful chuckle. Mortifying doesn't even begin to cover it. I think I've officially reached a new level of dating disaster. I don't think it's that bad, Katie says. At least you didn't send him to the emergency room. Katie and Derek worked together before they began dating, and on one fateful lunch, Katie got him to go to a new restaurant where he tried a dish that had citrus in it. He swelled up like a balloon, and she had to rush him to the ER. Belle rolls her eyes and folds her arms across her chest. I don't know. Hers is pretty bad. Suddenly, her eyes light up, a mischievous glint sparkling in them. She sits up straighter, nearly bouncing with excitement. Oh my gosh, Charlie, I just had the most brilliant idea. She claps her hands together, her bubbly enthusiasm filling the room. You should use this to become a social media influencer. I blink, caught off guard. What? Belle has been trying to get me to up my social media game for months, but usually she's trying to convince me to do workout videos online or a fitness podcast. This, whatever this is, sounds worse. No, seriously, Belle continues, her words tumbling out in a rush. Dating disasters are comedy gold. Just imagine the TikToks, the Instagram reels. You could go viral. She's practically shaking now, her blonde hair bouncing against her shoulders as she gestures wildly. We could do hashtags like hashtag Charlie's Chopstick Chaos or hashtag Sushi Survivor. I can't help but laugh, shaking my head. Only Belle would think posting my mortification for all the world to see would be a good thing. I appreciate the enthusiasm, Belle, but I don't think broadcasting my romantic failures to the internet is a good idea. I might have a client who sees it, and I need them to take me seriously. But think of the followers, Belle pouts, her lower lip jutting out dramatically. Maybe you could even get brand deals. No brand I would want to work for would want that kind of spokeswoman. Brands want confident and classy, not pitiful and clumsy. You are not pitiful or clumsy, Hannah says, and I will not let you engage in such negative self-talk. However, I do think your night qualifies as an ice cream emergency. She grins out at the rest of us. What do you guys think? Though I haven't actually had dinner, I agree and follow the girls to the kitchen. Chocolate may not solve everything, but in my friend group, it solves a lot. And that's okay with me.